phones. I would also like to remind our visitors that in order to facilitate an effective meeting, we ask those who wish to make comments to the board read the visitor guidelines found on the table outside the door and complete the attached public participation form and bring those to Sarah sitting in the corner. Public participation is only allowed during the public participation portions of the meeting. Other than those times, board meetings are not interactive with those in attendance. Roll call, please, Sarah.
Bannister.
Here.
Jordan.
Here.
Lamb.
Here.
McComb.
Yes.
Rock.
Here.
Severns.
Here.
McPherson.
We'll stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We always start out with a bang at our school board meetings, and tonight's building spotlight, we're happy to welcome the Compass and Atlas program. So Marissa will be taking it away.
All right, thank you very much. We're happy to be here tonight. We want to share with you a little bit about the vocational programming that we do for our students in our Compass and Atlas program. So I'm going to introduce you ladies. So our Compass program, we focus on different independent living skills, but we also have a lot of focus on like functional academics. And once students get to Atlas, we kind of drop that academic piece and solely focus on the functional side of things. So at MPE, Emily Tira is the teacher in the Compass program. At Lincoln Trail, we have two teachers. It's Abby Graves and Melissa Nichols. At Lincoln Trail is Alex McMahon and Victoria Giles. What? I'm sorry. It does say LT, does it? I'm sorry. It is the junior high. I thought you were supposed to check this one. I know high school. I know a ton of us read it.
Thank you, I thought that you signed and had.
High school is Heather Lyons. She was our proofreader of the presentation.
Sorry.
And then at Atlas, you guys have met Trace Patterson has presented to you guys before about things we do at Atlas. And so she's here again today. So my big thing that I just wanted to share is that what I want you to know is that these teachers have all worked together. Some of them this is their first year, some of them for many years. And we have really worked to come up with like a scope and sequence of skills so that the training that we are giving the students build as they go through each building. We are really intentional in selecting the skills that we work on at each building because we want to make sure that the students are learning things that are age appropriate. So you're not going to see students at Middletown or at Lincoln Trail with a coffee cart going around selling coffee because kids at that age don't do that typically, right? So we want to make sure that they are learning skills that we can build upon, but also that are very age appropriate. So I'm going to turn it over to each of them and they're going to talk about what they do at each level. Emily gets that first.
So MPE is special in that we get to be able to have them come in and learn how to learn, basically. So some of them have not, they've gone through maybe pre-K, but a lot of the things that we focus on is helping them learn how to put systems in place to make school make sense to them. So that's a huge focus for me in my classroom. I don't know, how do I just...
The arrow button.
There we go. Oh, and there's Middletown. There we go. So from the beginning, in my classroom, we make sure that they're having a very structure and routine day. We use visual schedules, which has been hugely successful in getting them to understand like, this is the structure of the day and this is where you go. So this is an example. Some of them, we ring a doorbell and that cues them into like, you have to go check your schedule, but others need a more visual, they're not listening to the bell yet. So we use both of those check mark things that you see over on the far left. And then I presented a couple of different examples of what our visual schedules are. This is just breaking down the day to let them know, like, this is what we're going to do next. They can see visually what's happening throughout the day and then what to expect and sort of the skills that are involved within each of the routines and the, I don't know, activities that we're doing per routine, like snack, recess. They know what's happening, and actually a lot of them are going up there and choosing that they don't want to do any of the work and they go straight for recess. But it does help them. So they're looking and they're grabbing that I guess we call it tickets or whatever, and then they go to that location and there's a match there that lets them know, like, now you're at recess or now you're at play. So those are just some examples of what we have. We did do I worked really hard over the summer with Stacy Peterson. She's our vision specialist. I have 3 kids that need additional help in looking at the icons that we use for the schedules. So we made object schedules for them. So what you can see the difference between here, one is checking their schedule, that she does not pay attention to the doorbell, but she does like go over there and check her schedule with the check mark, and she just needs the visual. So she's rocking it in that she's a kindergartner, but then on the far right, you see that she's using almost the exact same thing, but with an object schedule that she can visually respond to a lot better than the actual icons. We also are really incorporating reinforcement and having them understand that, like, they are expected to learn, but like it's fun to learn. So token boards and choice boards are within everything that we do. I'm trying to figure out very individualized motivation so that they are rewarded for correct answers, and or just like even sitting. Like if you're sitting at a carpet, you get a star for like every minute that you're sitting there, and you get to choose what it is that you're working for. So these are examples of some of the choice boards and or token boards. I've had kids who have worked for dinosaurs and or fish stickers, but usually stars were okay, but they're working towards earning something that they have the responsibility and the independence of making sure that they're listened to and they have the ability to choose what it is that they want to work for. So that's an example. And here's a couple examples of some students using the token board and learning whatever specific skill that they're working on. So the visual schedules and the token boards and choice boards are incorporated into just about any skill that we're trying to teach them. Sitting, attending, to academic tasks, even if it's something like just checking their schedule or, I don't know, even just sitting at carpet and staying there and enjoying whatever it is we're doing, like letter of the week, which is coming up.
Right. I can't wait.
So I'm going to hand it over to whatever Lincoln Trail. So we set the stage for Lincoln Trail, and watch what these ladies can do. Amazing stuff.
And we try and build off of the awesome foundation that she creates. So we take her visual schedule and lengthen it a little bit. And so they use this, like she said, to check their schedule, take their ticket, put it in their cup to tell them where they need to go. We also create independent workstations.
Yep. So this is where the students go to work independently. Typically the work in the station is things that they have mastered during their work with teacher time. So on their IEP goal work, and the goal is that they work through the system for second, third, and place it in the finish bin when they're done.
Yep. We also try and promote independence through classroom jobs. Some kids are assigned jobs, some of them get to choose their own jobs. We use this as a time for them to get out into the school to socialize and interact with people, paper shredding.
Mail delivery. They love doing mail delivery, going down to the office, checking mailboxes. They like to deliver the pink slips. And that gives them the opportunity to interact more with their gen ed peers.
They have the little grabbers. They go outside and pick up trash. They set out the cones for the parent dismissal at the end of the day. Vacuum other people's classrooms, just all sorts of jobs to try and push them out and immerse them into our school community. So here's some of the kids doing the jobs.
So every day they complete a life skills rotation. And then this rotation, the idea of it is to work on some prerequisite skills that they need for vocational tasks later on. So like you can see like, they go in the bathroom, cleaning the mirrors, wiping the sinks down. And the other picture, they're sorting, like stocking like a vending machine. They do sorting clothes by dirty and clean, darks and whites, silverware.
We feel like our job is just to kind of take it one step further and get them ready for junior high where they're actually maybe going out to be a little bit more, still getting out into their classes. So, yeah.
Oh,
There's like B-roll.
everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
All right, so we do junior high, and junior high is a lot more. We go into the community, we go do stuff in the school. So we get to do some field trips where we go out to the community, like the U of I basketball game, library visits. We did a field trip to Dairy Queen, but we also do a lot of things in the school where we're just like practicing money and going around and running like a coffee cart and doing recycling and stuff like that. So
So one of the things we do is the coffee cart or the caffeine cart, and students are able to follow directions by filling orders that the teachers put in, and then they are able to navigate the hallways to find classrooms. And they can engage in those communication skills by greeting the teachers that ordered, greeting peers that they see in the hallway, and then also the functional piece of, making change for someone that's going to pay us, or just counting back the money that they were given.
and other jobs we do are delivering messages. We deliver the messages from the office, the take 5 bag messages. We do library messages. Students have to go around the school, find the classrooms, find the lockers and everything. They have to be respectful while walking through the classroom, and they learn how to like just get into the community and be respectful and know what they're doing. We also make ice packs for the health office. We do laundry. We wash the PE clothes. We shred papers, and we also do recycling, which you see in that picture there. They go outside and they put the paper in the recycling bin, and then they have to go deliver all the boxes when they're done. And there's some more pictures of us doing some jobs, shredding, recycling, and ice packs, which is always a fun time.
So at the high school, we start shifting a little bit more to independent living, functional academics, and a lot more vocational. So we try to take those job skills that they learn in the lower grades and try to apply them into their academics rather than other gen ed material. We focus on actual jobs, and so our readings, our researching jobs, finding out different things in our community, reading recipes, different things like that. And so we definitely have a bigger shift. And one of the big shifts that we have when we get to the high school is that we start our transition planning in the IEP. So at 14 and a half, students start having a voice or more of a voice in their IEP. And so we really try to tailor their transition plan, the plan that they'll have when they get to Atlas at that time. So we start looking at what they're interested in, what type of skills they like in a job, and what they don't like, so that we can help figure out what jobs in the community we can expose them to and let them try out. And so we have a lot of different ways for our students to engage with that, depending on their ability level. And then we also work really hard on increasing independence and reflection in their vocational tasks. So a lot of them follow checklists, and the idea is that hopefully with following either visual directions or a specific checklist, that they will need less of a job coach, a paraprofessional, a teacher support, so that ideally they can do those tasks in the community without that additional support. But also having students understand if they're doing well at their job, being able to assess, like, I did a good job today, I need to work on this, I need to learn on this. And we work with the job coaches so that those conversations are had at whatever level the students need, so that we can improve on those skills and increase independence. We also do a lot of classroom jobs. Our students do shredding, vacuuming, wiping tables, dishes. We run the recycling program at the high school, and whatever kind of jobs that the administration need that we kind of support. But we also have 2 micro businesses at the high school, and one of them is the long-running snack cart. Allows our students to practice budgeting, shopping, interacting with customers. They absolutely love it. They get to see their buddies and friends and peers and outside the school. They become really well known and often get stopped in the hall so that people can buy things. And it helps them really learn some solid skills. A lot of our underclassmen do the snack cart, so that way when they get to their junior, senior year, they can go out into the community. So they're learning some skills that hopefully can transfer out into the community. We also, around Christmas time, make Christmas tags for school staff. So if you're interested, we'll be putting those out in November. But the students use different materials to make these Christmas tags. They're very much unique so that our students are making them, and our Bulldog buddies also help. But the idea with this is that students make these, and the money we get from it, we get to use to do fun things with our Bulldog buddies. Whether we buy games for our buddies' times, if we go on a field trip or something, that's kind of what it's for. And then we have some community work placements. Right now we are at the junior high doing some custodial work, and then the United Methodist Church. And those have been really awesome placements for our students this year. All right, Tracy.
And my kids have graduated high school and they are now in the transition program, Atlas, for 18 to 22 really. And my kids have jobs in the community, and we also have our own student-run business. So currently we're working at Bridal Brook Habitat Restore. Savoy Schnucks is starting next week, I think. And then we have our Bulldog Barkery, and we have an apprenticeship now at Candlewood Suites. I'll talk about that in a minute. So these are just some pictures of our kids working in the Barkery and at their community jobs. So our apprenticeship program, we partnered with WIOA, which is, what does WIOA stand for? I think I have it somewhere. I can't remember, but they are a work-based through the Department of Rehabilitative Services in Illinois. And so we have a guy at WIOA who has sort of facilitated this apprenticeship through the Department of Labor. So our student, after he finishes his apprenticeship, this is his apprenticeship at Candlewood Suites, he's working as a laundry assistant. And after he does a full year of that, he will have an actual certification through the U.S. Department of Labor. So ideally, he'll be able to, they want to hire him after he's hired as an apprentice, but after his apprenticeship is over, they want to hire him as a full-time employee. But if anything ever happens with that job, or if he leaves there, he'll have this certification through the U.S. Department of Labor to take to another work site, another hotel, anywhere he could do laundry, and say, I've been certified in this, I'm a laundry assistant. So that's pretty awesome. And I thought I had another slide in here, but I know I've talked to you guys all about the Barkery, and I did bring some of our homemade dog treats tonight, and they're outside, and I have brought some free samples also. So Chris, how did your dog like the treats?
It didn't last very long.
That's right. Never do. So, we're still doing that. We have that student-run business. That's what we use to fund our fun field trips. We're going on one this Thursday to the Great Pumpkin Patch, and sale of our dog treats is covering that whole field trip. So that's kind of a fan favorite. The kids love that one because they get to make the treats and they get to then deliver them everywhere, and they get to see everybody, and they see Dr. Lee every month delivering the treats. And so they love that. But the apprenticeship has become pretty important to Atlas too. And I'm feeling like we could put another kid into this apprenticeship next year, or we could start an apprenticeship with another business. The main thing we do at Atlas is we do the partnering with different employers in the community so that we can set these kids up for success in their adult lives, working their adult jobs. Any questions?
So first of all, thank you all for doing this. This is amazing. The work that you do is, thank you. For the apprenticeship, I think that is so awesome. Do they have to apply for it? Does any kid get it? Or only a certain amount of kids that can get it?
So it's not just a certain amount. So I started it with this specific, I go to a lot of these transition conferences and I learn all these things. And then Marissa and I were at a conference together too, and it was like, we were like, this is happening. So it was WIOA guy. Do you remember what WIOA stands for? I can't remember all.
Is that Taylor?
Yes, Taylor Black.
Black.
Anyway, it's a state of Illinois thing, and it's out there on Mattis by Parkland in that building, the employment, that's WIOA, whatever that stands for.
Workforce Innovation
Yes.
and Opportunity.
Thank you, Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. And so,
You remember.
off the top of his head.
Yeah, I knew it.
I was hoping you would remember.
So they were presenting at a conference also that we were at, and we just decided, we were gonna make this happen. And so I contacted Taylor Black at WIOA and I said, listen, I have this kid, we have this really good. So what it is when you find a good employer, and we had a really good employer in this hotel. We had a really good GM who was so on board with teaching, with us training our student there, and he was all about it. And so I approached him and I said, hey, what do you think about this apprenticeship opportunity? And basically what you do is you can carve out whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be like an existing job. Like, for example, the existing job that it would have been at this hotel would have been a housekeeper. However, my student has, some vision problems and every single aspect of the housekeeping thing, he might experience challenges with certain aspects of it. So we sort of carved out his job. And so he's not getting, his certification isn't in housekeeping specifically, it's in laundry attendant, because he can go and strip the rooms and he can put all that in a cart, and he can strip several rooms, put them all in carts, and then wheel it down and do the laundry. And that's his favorite thing to do. He loves it. If he's in the middle of laundry when the bus is there, they can't pry him out the door because he's not finished, right? And he's like telling people 2 minutes on the dryer, 2 minutes on the dryer, like as he's leaving, because he's like, and we've just had to get to the place where we're like, listen, Emily can handle it when you leave. She's going to finish it for you. There'll be stuff here for you to do tomorrow, just to get him to go. But so that's like his thing. So it can be like, I'm waiting for this hotel to open in Mahomet and like, hey, what can we do? Because the example of this that I first learned about was at the transition conference that they do at the U of I every year. And it was the city of Collinsville. And if you guys have time, look it up on YouTube, the city of Collinsville, their apprenticeship program. It is amazing. And they partnered with, the city of Collinsville partnered with the local transition program, and it's the same thing. But they have this whole like event center there that they had jobs for the kids. So theirs has grown by leaps and bounds because they have this. We just didn't have any. I've been kind of, when I
We
first.
were waiting for Champaign County to get together and we said, we're just gonna do it ourselves.
Yeah. So, yeah, so it's really neat. But any really, once you have that good employer that's really willing to work with you, you can carve out an apprenticeship for a transition kid, for a kid with disabilities that, you can carve out whatever their job may be, get them that certification. And then I just think like that's gonna carry them far, in their adult lives. To have that. So I'm, ecstatic that we have that now.
We're hopeful that the Schnucks in Savoy.
That would be amazing.
Although the distance is huge, right? That takes a lot of time in the instructional day.
It really
That-
is. Yeah.
That those folks have been very supportive,
Amazing.
very willing to have our students
Yes.
there. And I think that's probably the next great
I agree.
experience for our kids
Yeah.
is at the Schnucks in Savoy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that will turn into meaningful employment pretty quickly. I think, we always start with, my kids are in the STEP program, so it's like a volunteer. So they show up to work, and we're basically using community employers as like training sites. And so they don't get paid. They get paid a stipend through DRS. They don't get paid by the employer. So you would think it would be a little bit easier to kind of wiggle your way in and say, this is free labor, but it doesn't always work that way. But then what happens is if they do a good job and the employer likes their work, they can get hired. And so that's like always our goal. Our goal is like when they're leaving Atlas to have that job that they're going to work as an adult, and already have trained them on it. So.
Well, a couple things. First of all, you do define work, and it's really impactful, obviously. How many students K through 12 are in the program?
How many do you have?
5.
11.
11.
We have 11.
I have 5.
3, 4, 3. Well, I share one. I'm sharing one. I'm putting 4 to work, but I only have 3 on my case this year.
That's amazing. And then what's a Bulldog Buddy?
Bulldog Buddy is a program that we have in the junior high and high school. It's a little bit different at each building because of their bell schedules, but it's an opportunity for our students to have meaningful relationships with their peers. And so students apply to be a buddy. They have to go through an interview process, and they're selected. At the junior high, it's split between the 7th and 8th grades during their elective. It's one of their electives they get to choose. And then at the high school, it's an advisory class. And so it looks a little bit different for the buddies help in their actual classes that they have in Compass, where mine is purely a social time.
It's like a reverse inclusion thing started by Marissa Hill.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
So I was,
Abby was a Bulldog Buddy back when she was in middle school.
and it was truly the reason why I became a special ed teacher. It was the most incredible thing that she created, and I feel like it's only grown from there. And I made some really true friendships. And I think it's by choice, right? Like it's during your elective. I think I would come into my lunch recess because it's something I enjoyed and I loved. And I made some really impactful relationships with some of those students. And it's cool to see now being a teacher, trying to help facilitate our students and the kids in those programs. So.
Like we get a lot of interest in this. Like I think the past 2 years I've had 30 to 40 applications, and it's not like, oh, you just fill out a Google form. They have to write a 500-word essay. They have to go through an interview process. And they're all just like, I mean, starting now, I'm already getting questions. When can we sign up to be a Bulldog Buddy? When can we start like looking into that? Like they ask teachers, they reach out to us, like a lot of people want to do it. And these kids are amazing. Like they do such a good job with our students. So
Just want to say thank you guys individually for all pouring so much of yourselves into our students in our community. Like it's a blessing to have you guys. So thank you very much.
And thank you for giving up an evening to be here tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it. You guys are all rock stars and we appreciate you.
Any other questions for Compass Atlas?
What?
Do you have anything else for us?
She's ready.
You getting out of here?
They've heard about us there.
Trying to get out of here.
All right, thank you so much. Feel free to stick around, but I see you're all heading toward the door, so.
Excellent
Feel free to
presentation.
leave as well.
That sounds.
Yeah.
No, it's very lonely, but.
All right, we will continue with item number 5, the approval of the agenda.
Yes, Mr. Rock, I would ask that we amend the agenda and add "and visitors" under number 8. That was inadvertently let off, and by school code, we need to have a spot for dedicated public comment on each one of our agendas.
Yeah.
I'll second that, or I'll.
Make a motion, Max.
I'll move that we do that, yes.
Is there a second for adding "and visitors" to line item number?
It's on our.
It's on
It
there.
is on, it's on ours, but it wasn't on the original.
Gotcha. I'll second that. Jeff seconds, so we can do this by voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Okay, great. So now we will continue with a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second. Second. Any discussion on the agenda? This is also a voice vote. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay. Let's move on to number 6, consent agenda items, including minutes, bills, treasurer's report, personnel changes, out of state and overnight trip requests, Youth Astronet research project, and the creation of the MSHS book club, which I'm surprised we didn't have one already, so that's cool. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? Anybody want to pull anything out? Hearing none, we will do a roll call vote, Sarah.
Bannister,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
Sam,
Yes.
McComb,
Yes.
Rock,
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
All right, number 7, donations. Dr. Lee will present the donations for this month.
Yes, we have an anonymous donation to Lincoln Trail for the Give Me 5 food program in the amount of $500. Ward and Tina Page donated to Mahomet-Seymour High School to Mom's Pantry in the amount of $5,000. Bulldog Gridiron Club donated to Mahomet-Seymour High School to the football activity for purchase of a water tank for $1,500. Russell and Cheryl Weber from the are donating to the high school to the band activity fund in the amount of $1,300. Pam Kurtz has a donation to the high school to Mom's Pantry in the amount of $2,000, and another anonymous donation to the high school to the social work fund in the amount of $1,000. Total donations up for approval this evening are $11,300.
Incredible. Reaching the $10,000, any amount is great, but especially reaching $10,000 in donations for the month is impressive. The superintendent recommends the approval of the donations as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And second? Any further discussion on donations?
Thank you to everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Super deal.
Roll call vote, please.
Jordan,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
McComb,
Yes.
Yes.
Severance,
Yes.
Bannister.
Yes.
All right, item number 8, communication from PTO MSCA Foundation. I don't see anybody from PTO or MSCA. Any update from the foundation, Justin?
Yeah, just real quick, the date for the Bulldog Bash has been announced, and it is going to be on April 10th, 2026. And that will be at the City Center in Champaign again. So mark your calendars down for that. It's an event that it's always a good time. So April 10th, spring, mark it down.
Sarah, do we have any visitor participation forms? Very good. All right, item number 9, reports, updates, and informational items. Board communication. Would anybody like to start us off tonight?
Sure. So in our mailboxes, like Friday or Saturday, our first mailer hit. And cameras, I'm on public clear. If you didn't read yours, shame on you. It's really good. It has a lot of great information. Appreciate Jessica getting this rolling. We've talked about doing something like this on a regular basis for a long, long time. And it's good to have someone here who can do it. And there's actually talent at it. It's good. It's laid out well, it's presented well, it's great information. And our goal with that is just another way to keep the community informed about what's going on. Not only our parents, but our parents, because of Parent Square and interactions with the teachers and staff, they tend to be more updated. But there's a lot of folks in our community that either don't have children yet or have young children, or their children are gone and don't know what's going on in the district. And this is a great tool we have now to kind of help them know what's going on, keep them updated. So the inaugural issue is great, and I really appreciate all the work that went in.
I will second that. You've done an incredible job.
Thank you.
I love having Parent Square too. Like it's one-stop shop. I love it. Keeps me organized, which is a full-time job. So I appreciate you.
I also couldn't figure out how we were getting all the spiffy online posts about girls athletics, and then it dawned on me. Who do we have now that we didn't have before?
You're good. Kyle?
Yeah, hey, lots of really great stuff in all the reports and all the updates. I continue to be really impressed by the amount of information you guys are providing for us and just keeping us and the community like really up to date on everything. I really appreciate it. Jessica, not to give you too many kudos, but I did a little bit of communication study in college, and a lot of the focus of that was like branding and things being all kind of the same. I've really noticed that throughout the last most recent posts and updates that we've had. Everything is on brand. I appreciate that. I just feel like we're really heading in the right direction. And to piggyback off what Max said, I remember when we did the community tour, the listening tour, a lot of what we heard was like communication. We're not getting updates from we're only getting things on Facebook that are negative and not the true story. So kudos to you on that, and also Dr. Lee for kind of leading that effort as one of our goals to really reach out to the community. So thank you.
I give a shout out to Coach Ledden, just inducted into the Hall of Fame, which I thought was a
Nice.
wonderful accomplishment for him. I saw that earlier and wanted to give him a special shout out.
Absolutely.
Speaking of shout outs, it's principal week, right? Yeah, we've got amazing principals. Very blessed to have them in each building. So thank you to all the principals that they do each and every day. It's not an easy job.
Yeah, I was gonna give a shout out to Coach Ledden too. He's been here a long time and he's poured a lot into a lot of kids and we appreciate his efforts and congratulate him on his achievement. Also wanted to give a shout out to the junior high cross-country teams. The girls team placed 5th in state, which was only 6 points away from a state trophy. They had an amazing season and the boys team placed 15th. Both of those are out of 24 teams. So thank you so much to our coaches that pour into those kids. There's a lot of kids in junior high cross country. It's an amazing program that we have and we appreciate the coaches and everybody that's involved in that. We had one individual state placer, Tatum Kessler. She was an all-state medalist. She finished 15th out of 221 girls runners. So congratulations to her. Thanks.
Becky, anything else?
I mean, I have some of the stuff written down that Justin said too. I know, we've got tennis doubles for the girls. They made it to state, which is awesome. I think I noticed some stuff too with the marching band and the color guard. They've placed, I mean, I think they're undefeated or however you want. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing. We had a great football game this past Friday night too. So a lot of good things happening.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's, Parent Teacher Conference Week. So good luck to everybody there with and get an extra day off. So yeah.
Dog walk finished up since our last meeting. I think 160,000.
Oh my, I didn't know that.
That's incredible. That has to be a record number, right? Does everybody know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get hit up.
I didn't either.
I didn't know about
Live in the country. So.
You can just give it to me, I'll make sure.
He's gonna buy dogs.
Just give Dr. Lee your credit card. He'll make sure you get the contribution.
Maybe not.
Because that's trackable.
All right. Let's move on.
Just a number of good things we just talked about around the table. And we forgot stuff. There's more stuff.
The volleyball team just had a heck of a
Yeah.
Swimming on Saturday, had a great day.
A lot of great folks doing a lot of good things.
All right, we'll go to director reports and I'll just go in order of the packet here. Dr. Bagby, anything to add to your report of professional development and
Work towards strategic goal, MTSS, PBAS, so lots of good stuff, CKLA implementation, so.
let's see, Jessica Bryson, anything to add to yours? I love seeing the statistics at the end. That's my jam. The results are awesome.
No, nothing to add, just still moving along.
Good. We have the financial report, Dr. Kaler. Anything to add there?
If you have any questions on the financial report, and just to give you a heads up, next month you'll be seeing a school maintenance project grant coming forward. Three parts of it. 2 pieces are HVAC, and 1 is from the home ec room at the high school. 1 of the dryer vents.
We'll talk about the interim. The person who's doing this before you for a little bit.
How did you? Great.
You took the bait really well.
I've been doing this a long time.
What you're saying is you had a few fixes to make.
Mrs. Northrop, anything to add to your report?
I'll just kind of give a shout out to the special education staff. Not all of them teach math, but they're all getting professional development in math because if you're a special education teacher at any point in time, you can find yourself teaching math. And so our math folks have always been in it from the jump, and our ELA folks are also in it, and they think they learned a lot. We learned a lot as they learned a lot in the last math PD, and some of them are getting double dipped. So our junior high and high school special education staff is getting double dipped in math professional development right now. And that's stressful. It's stressful for them to be out of their classrooms. It's stressful for them, you know, when they're trying to write IEPs and hold meetings but they're doing it. And so I'm super proud of them for that because a lot of them have their own personal math phobias and we shared that in the room as well. So just super proud of them. And then the other thing that I included in here, we meet every Monday as a special education leadership team, and that includes a lot of our other staff in the district, from Carrie, the district nurse, our behavior interventionist, our BCBA, lots of folks that kind of help Marissa and I keep things moving in the district. And one of the things we talked about is all the things that they do that aren't necessarily special education related, that don't fall under that true IDEA umbrella, the work that they do in terms of being foster care, the foster care liaisons, and putting that together, what they do with our event with families, the things that Lori Larson is doing as a family engagement specialist. And so just acknowledging the folks that are doing those things that might not necessarily fall under the special education umbrella, but they have that to their plates and they are doing that every day. And I'm not sure what we would do without those folks. So just kind of wanted to put that out there in terms of all the things that they do and make happen.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, Dr. Lee.
Other than some policies that I just updated you on, I'd just like to provide a shout out to our Board of Education. Since our last board meeting, you guys were the recipients of an Illinois Association of School Boards governance recognition program. And I think that when you do your due diligence and I don't think you understand the full body of your work until you get to look at all of the different things and points that you have to hit in order to be recognized for that award that you guys received. All of them, you look at what the community engagement piece that you guys did a couple of summers ago with all of the listening tours and all the time in the evenings that you spent, and you look at, have you been a part of a district that has created a strategic plan? And then not only can we look at that we've created a strategic plan, but then we've looked at the implementation of such. And, you know, just tonight, for instance, with you guys talking about Jessica and the job that she's doing, well, that was a direct result of the strategic plan and you guys supporting that strategic plan with the living the strategic plan process. And all of those different things and the policy reviews that you go through, and then for us to be able to say that we talk monthly about policy, other boards aren't doing that. And that's why you guys have been recognized and understand what governance is. And when you understand what governance is, then that allows us to do our jobs and not spend a majority of our day trying to drown out the noise that people who don't understand governance do. And we've been there, and you guys are just a real joy to work for and work with side by side. And on behalf of our administrative team, I just want to say congratulations and thank you.
All right. We'll move on to regular business and start with unfinished business, beginning with living the strategic plan. Dr. Lee.
Yes, much of this is in the director's reports, but again, we're proud of our K-5 teachers participating in professional development that focus on the implementation of the CKLA. And the main thing that I want to talk about in goal one is on a personal level. I've seen the implementation of CKLA firsthand, just in classroom visits through our SAM program. And when you've got first graders wearing lab coats and they've got the pens that look like syringes, and when I say, why are you guys wearing lab coats? And they start talking about the nervous system and the digestive. I mean, that's real and that's impressive. And when I was in a second grade classroom and they said, this is appropriate that you're here because we've been talking about leadership and that you're the leader of this district. We were actually talking about Athens, Greece. And I said, why in the world are you guys talking about Athens, Greece in second grade? And a young man in the back said, because that's the birthplace of democracy. So it's powerful, and we appreciate all the work that Dr. Bagby and the team did to put together the CKLA, and our teachers have bought in and they're implementing it and it's real, and we can see it in the classrooms, and then the connections that they're making between CKLA and UFly is impressive. So we appreciate all of our staff with regard to that. Again, under goal 2 communication, we appreciate Jessica and that she's hit the ground running. And then we've been out speaking about our strategic plan. Jordan's only heard it a dozen times, so.
It gets better every time.
It's like chili.
It's like chili, yeah.
So, goal 5, safety. Again, I appreciate our assistant principals. We meet on a monthly basis. Secured entrance and nearly complete at the junior high. And then I'll touch base with the next step of safety procedures in closed session this evening. And we just appreciate Dr. Kaler. He has hit the ground running as well. He's acclimating nicely, brings an entirely different lens than what we're used to as a former administrator who's been in the role for a couple of years. So we appreciate him and are glad to have him as a member of our team. He'll present the preliminary tax levy at our next regular Board of Education meeting.
Very good. Dr. Kaler is acclimating nicely to the district is what it says. Yeah. All right, thank you very much. You're still up. We're gonna talk, item 2.
Yes, our strategic plan. Under facilities, we had talked about potentially examining moving some sections of 3rd grade into this building. Have you done any more? Will that be out at this point?
No.
I would prefer to look at that before it becomes too late to do it for next year.
Okay.
Any other discussion on living the strategic plan? Okay, we'll go to MSHS gymnasium bleacher.
Yes, I've got some sample colors. This is where they are recommending the colors we get. This would be each side. Those would be the blue and the orange. It's would be a gray decking. I can show you the actual colors if you'd like. If
This is looking at the east side, correct?
the 2-tiered one would be, so there's one side that's just got 1 and then one side that's got the 2, so yes. So there's been a variety of combinations that have come up, and that's the one that they liked the best was with and then there's orange railings on the ends, and then there'll be a dark blue vinyl fabric that I have samples of that will keep people from getting in behind the bleachers and such like that. So wanted to stay away from letters just because as we're looking at the long game, replacing that because they'll give you extra stock. That's replacing that will be easier than that. The other thing with the letters is that if you wanted to put like a Go Dogs or something, it would have to be DAWGS, and we've never done that. So
they can't do DOGS.
No, not the way that the sections go.
Oh, yeah, the spacing.
Yeah.
Got it.
You've never done what?
DAWGS that I'm aware of, or that they were aware of.
The spelling of it.
Well, I think
So
probably not officially.
are those
Unofficially, we've done that a lot.
are those samplers for us? Can we?
Yeah, so it would be Blue Dust and Tangerine.
Oh, my 2 favorites.
On the west side, those would be the same, they would match on the west side as they do on the east side.
On the back. I should have said that.
Okay, so dogs, because we gotta have 5 letters instead of 4.
Yeah. So the way that it's, and then again, with replacements and things like that, that it just, they believe that it makes the most sense just to go with the colors. Yeah, because they're gonna break. They're plastic. Yeah. I mean,
We don't want to do like.
We hope they don't break for a long time.
I get it, but they I mean.
That's good. I like the layout.
Good.
Remind me, where do we stand with approving the expense? Have we've done?
It's already been approved and all that. I just wanted to provide an update because we're starting to plan because this will go in next summer, so they'll need to start making it. So
Okay.
just wanted to bring this back to you and let you know.
Very good. Thank you.
Do all of our bleachers push back?
Well, and there's some final, because there's our wrestling mats are custom cut. So there's some final just configuration type thing on the walkway upstairs before we finalize it. And then also there's a small change order in there because then the scorers table will need to go in the middle of that. So there's a couple of small adjustments in that, but it'll all.
The upper deck comes forward, does it not?
Yeah, it comes forward, but it
The
needs
lower
to,
levels go back, the upper level comes forward.
and it needs to be finalized though.
So do we get a new scorers table as part of this, or is it the existing, or do you know?
There's gonna have to be a cutout to place the scores table. I don't know if we end up buying that or not.
We just upgraded that pretty recently, but something different. I don't know.
Any other discussion about bleachers?
There'll be enough room for like the teams to sit on the bench, right? Like basketball.
They have, always have chairs.
Okay.
All right, move on to new business. Item number 1, consideration and possible approval of a robotics program Dr. Bagby is presenting.
Yes, this would be an additional course added at the high school. Eric Androsky and the high school team have brought this forward. This would essentially allow a continuation. You heard from Simon Anderson in the PLTW program last year. The students have access to an intro of about 9 weeks of robotics in their 8th grade year. This would allow a continuation of that at the high school level, not like fully advanced, but a little bit more of a continuation, still kind of like an introductory, like sophomore, junior, or senior level course. And then they could continue building on it and making it into a program in the future. The thoughts would be just responsive to student interest and needs. The 3D animation class is kind of seen a little bit of a decrease in interest in student enrollment. So the look would be to offer 3D animation for, still offer that, but offer this as well, and offer a semester level CTE class. So that might offer a little bit more flexibility. If anyone just has a semester opening, they have a lot of year-long openings in the industrial tech department, but not a lot of semester. So they were really excited about it, and if needed and wanting to keep growing, if the 3D animation continues, this could potentially grow and kind of fit a new interest level and where the future with computer programming and engineering and robotics is kind of heading, allowing for those future growth and college and job opportunities potentially. So they're very excited about it. Computer Science Equity Grant will help pay for some additional materials for the high school. Eric already has used, and the high school has already used some CTEI and Perkins funds, which have been a grant that they get yearly. So they've already built up quite a bit. And they're very excited to be able to offer this. So I am as well. I think it's a great class. I think they're going to have quite a bit of interest in it, especially after the 8th graders go through robotics this year for the first time. So that's the course we're bringing forward to you this evening. Any questions?
Sounds very, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna build some robotic stuff, right?
We're going to build some robotics. Yes.
Are those funded through the grants you were talking about?
Yes, yeah, CTEI and Perkins, that's like a vocational career technical education grant that we receive every year. They've started purchasing last year in preparation for that. And then this will be the 3rd year of that competitive computer science equity grant that we received. And most of those funds would be going towards additional robotics equipment. Cause they call them the brains, but essentially the computer part, that's the most expensive part. And then it's kind of like old erector sets and things like that. It's all those metal pieces and the bolts and all of that go with it. Which you just need a lot of storage and it's a lot of parts and things like that. So, but it's good. It's good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, they're very excited about it. There's an initial picture, if you look in a couple of the documents down, of a prototype essentially of like an initial build. And the idea with that robot, they can program so that it can take an object from point A to point B. So it can grasp onto it and then move it across the room or something like that. And that'll be the computer programming part about it, is to get the robot to function and to be able to move an object. So yeah.
Mrs. Graves said something very touching in that her junior high experience led to her eventual career, and something she's very passionate about. I've got to think that a course like this that is so pointed and targeted could potentially do the same thing.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was curious to know about the 3D animation course and seeing declining enrollment. So it's going to replace that course.
Eventually, if needed. Right now, there's room within the schedule to pair them, but yeah, the goal would be if that continues, that if we want to continue to grow it into like robotics 1 and a robotics 2, more of an advanced class at some point, maybe for some students that we'd have the ability within our current staffing and scheduling to be able to do so.
Any other questions for Dr. Bagby? Okay, the superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the new robotics course as presented. Do I have a motion?
Approve as presented.
Second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Sarah, roll call please.
Ham,
Yes.
Home,
Yes.
Rock,
Yes.
Severance,
Yes.
Bannister,
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
And we'll continue with Dr. Bagby on the approval of changes to dual credit history.
Yeah, dual credit history is staying as is. The only thing we wanted to bring forward, the high school wanted to bring forward you this evening is changing the prerequisite to allow that course to be a sophomore through senior level course instead of just a junior senior level course. Big reason why is a lot of students will enroll to be in civics, like the regular civics their sophomore year before they know that there's this dual credit civics opportunity if they complete both semesters of the history courses in the dual credit sequence that also qualifies for their civics graduation credit requirement. So a lot of kids are already taking civics before they even know about this opportunity. And Keith Pogan talking with the high school, they feel sophomores would be more than prepared to be enrolled in the dual credit history. So all it is no new class, nothing like that, just bringing the course change since we'd be changing the prereq from what was initially board approved to you this evening. So that is it. Any questions?
Do we have other dual credit programs that involve sophomores?
At this time, I do not believe so off the top of my head. No.
Love it here. You and everybody else are challenging the status quo. We're not just offering the classes because those are the classes we've always offered.
Yeah. And I gotta thank the high school for that. I mean, Eric, seeing what was happening at the middle school, just building that pathway, kind of like was done with agricultural before. The high school has been fantastic and looking also at opportunities, ideas. So a lot of credit goes to the high school on that, so.
The superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the course changes for dual credit American national government and dual credit state and local government as presented. Do I have a motion? Moved. And a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Home,
Yes.
Rock,
Yes.
Severance,
Yes.
Bannister,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bagby. All right, Dr. Lee is going to talk to us about an updated transportation handbook.
Yes, you can see that our transportation handbook had not been revised since 2015, 2016, and really it wasn't in use. So when Mr. Rock yesterday, when we met to go over the agenda, asked me what the changes were, there are many. And it's just a real wholesale update to this. And in speaking with Mr. Varner, essentially it was just putting a lot of things in writing that we've had as practice over the years that needed to be put into writing that have morphed. This has been reviewed by the MSEA as well, and they are just fine with it. I wanted to bring it to you guys for a first reading, give you some time to peruse it in the event that you have any questions.
Thank you very much. Anybody want to talk about anything in the updated transportation handbook? Anything to stick out? First reading, we'll see it again.
Yeah.
Very good, thank you. Move on to number 4, consideration of possible approval of an MOU with the MSEA regarding flag football Walter Lee.
Yes, we brought this to the MSEA and they are in agreement with it. It did take some time to get it back, and then in order for them to be able to sign and a memorandum of understanding, then it needs to go in front of their executive board, which obviously takes time as well. So we're getting this to you now. It's right in line with what we think that it should be the compensation for, especially I think at the end of the first year, it makes sense to, in reflection on the length of the season and things like that. So we are recommending that this be approved for tonight, and then we'll negotiate again this spring with a whole new contract.
Any discussion on the MOU?
So this covers the season that just ended.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. The superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding with the MSCA regarding girls flag football as presented. Do I have a motion? And a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Rob,
Yes.
Severance,
Yes.
Bannister,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
McComb.
Yes.
All right. Number 5, consideration and possible approval of health equity as a health savings account. Dr. Lee?
Yes, as we mentioned in our previous meeting, we're now going to offer 3 different insurance options to our employees, and one of them is a health savings account. We reached out to the bank that we use, and they offer individual health savings accounts, but they don't administer them for organizations. In addition to offering the savings account portion, once an employee obtains a balance of $1,000, under this model, they're able to invest the funds present in their health savings account. Health equity is recommended by both Clemens and Bush UHR, so we are recommending that we utilize them this evening.
Any discussion on the HSA?
I'm gonna use it.
Yep. Okay, the superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the contract with Health Equity to provide health savings account services as presented. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Sarah.
Severance,
Yes.
Bannister,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
McComb,
Yes.
Yes. Okay, moving on to HRA, possible approval of Envision as a health reimbursement account provider.
So we currently, as you know, we offer a health reimbursement account at this time, and we currently use Consociates, which has been a fine product. We get an email every Friday morning, just verifying that those people reimbursing are in fact our employees, and we move on. But Consociates does not work with Blue Cross Blue Shield, which we're moving to on January 1st. So Envision's a company that Clemens works with frequently, and they're less expensive to utilize than our current provider. So between the recommendation that they're user friendly from Clemens, as well as it's less expensive per employer or per body that's on utilizing our HRA. For those reasons, we're recommending that we go with Envision.
All right, any discussion on the HRA?
Not real in-depth discussion, but I think I said this previously when these options were presented. I think it's really nice that we're able to give different tiers, different options for people. I think that I'm assuming has been well received.
Yes, because especially for.
It's not one size.
And especially for those, at least from what I'm hearing, I don't know about you guys, but the ones who have to purchase family insurance, to have a couple of different options is very beneficial as opposed to just one that's more expensive.
So I appreciate all the effort that went into that.
These guys.
Thank you. There've been some learning opportunities, Q&A for employees.
There's been sessions at each building. So Middletown, Lincoln Trail, Junior High, and High School each had their time. And Clemens has been here to answer any questions and preview the plans. There was an HSA meeting specifically last week. So if anyone wanted to come learn more about an HSA or ask any questions, that was for everyone. And then next week on the 28th, we have a final Q&A online if they need to get on with Clemens and ask any questions before open enrollment.
It's been well received, the new changes. Awesome. Great. Okay, any more discussion on the HRA? The superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the contract with Envision Healthcare to provide health reimbursement account services as presented. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
In a second. Any further discussion? Sarah, roll call, please.
Bannister,
Yes.
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
McComb,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Severance. Yes.
All right, we'll move on to the possible approval of a contract with Mid-State Collection Solutions. Dr. Lee, please.
Yes, while assisting in our business office prior to Dr. Taylor arriving, it was brought to my attention that we have some outstanding balances and there are a lot of them. And some of them are pretty hefty balances as well. So in chatting with Dr. Kaler, he's got some experience in the past with reaching out to families via letter from the school district first, and then if need be, sending people to collection. Certainly, I mentioned in here, and Mr. Rock brought up yesterday, that if it's a result of a hardship, there's directions on the letter that he'll send that states how to proceed with it. There's the paperwork to fill out and things like that. But we're just looking for an opportunity to try to capture some of these taxpayer dollars that are owed to the district.
It's not insignificant either. It's a total balance of about
Yeah,
$40,000.
I think it was around $40,000. So
What's the big, or the balances that are unpaid?
lunch.
Is it mainly lunch?
Yeah, because we're never going to turn a student away from lunch, right?
So we got 40,000 in outstanding lunch balances. Wow. You said some of them are not insignificant. Give me an example of a dollar that some of them have.
What did I show you yesterday?
$600-700
Yeah.
for one family.
Well, yeah, I think one family was about 1,300 for two kids. Yeah.
So is that like an a la carte lunch balance, or is that like just the hot lunch?
My assumption is that that's a hot lunch that's never been paid. So.
Wow. When one of my kids didn't have a balance, because I put money in there, they were just given like a cheese sandwich. So even if they don't have a balance.
You get the Class A lunch if you've got a negative balance, but you can't get any of the a la carte items with regard to that. I think the other thing is that, you know, some of you may receive emails when your balances get low, but that may become annoying, and I think you can shut that off, and then that can be an issue as well. You're not getting those reminders.
Just thinking of different ways to collect, can you hold a student's?
No. I know exactly where you're going. No diploma, things like that. That's illegal.
I know in higher education you can.
And it used to be a thing where you would hold diploma, hold different things. But yeah, that's
Do you not allow them to participate in extracurriculars? Are there other ways to go about collecting?
Yeah, I don't know that one.
But I feel like we're punishing the kid.
I'm not
Well,
sure.
we have some coaches probably.
No, it's paid.
Yeah. Talk. What, any guesstimates as to what percentage of that is hardship and what percentage of it is?
No.
What would be the hardship options? So if you receive a letter,
Well, I think if somebody's eligible and just doesn't know how to fill out the paperwork or needs some assistance with it, and then they come in and fill it out, and then that's wiped away. Yeah. I mean, we're not looking to shake down somebody who's, you know, on
Right.
times. We're just looking at, there's some obvious ones in there to try to recoup that.
what's the threshold for? Like how much do you have to get up to before like?
What do you think, Chris?
I've always used 500 in my past experiences with collection agency. Under that, I mean, we're gonna get about 50% to 60% of what we turn in. So if somebody's got a $600 balance, we can probably expect that they'll try to collect, that we'll receive about 300. Obviously, the more accounts that they have, the higher percentage we get. This is not meant to, like you said, it's not meant to shake down people that are in hardship. It is meant to collect what we're owed from those that can. And if they need help filling out those forms, they just need to let us know, and that will be in the letter. There'll be a blanket letter that goes out. Hey, this is about a third of the way through the year, check your balances. Then there'll be one that's, hey, you've got an outstanding balance. And the third one, you have an outstanding balance. If it's not dealt with, it will be turned over to collections.
Are we ready to provide data around like, hey, this is from Billy's lunch in 7th grade, Billy's in 10th grade now, and you haven't paid this for this many.
Itemized why.
Yeah, do we have the details to supplement?
I think we could probably get that if someone that is really taken aback.
I'm assuming we can. I've never dug into that on Skyward to see what, I can look at cumulatives, but I don't know that I've ever seen where it is by, on date. I haven't seen the student side of it.
I mean, if I get,
You probably get questions.
now I'm wondering, do I have one?
Like-
I get that thing off about. Cause I think it's like on an auto renew, it's like.
First thing you do is go after banister.
Cause I'm thinking, all right, in God we trust, all others we audit. I would want that information to say, all right, Aiden, like,
Sure.
how much, what are you paying buying lunch for?
I'm sure that if you had that question, that Janice in the food service could get you that, yes.
So what happens if they can't afford, like, pay their enrollment, or they don't pay their enrollment fee?
That's probably on that as well.
So we don't tell them they can't come, right?
You're never gonna collect 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that, but this is just an effort specifically for those very large balances that are outstanding.
In my experience in collections, that initial letter is awfully effective.
Usually it is.
It's the attention.
$1,000.
Several years of experience using this, I think only 2 have actually gone that, beyond that initial letter.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay.
And our cost to use MCS is only a portion of what they collect.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
They have to take a threshold down as far as $10, but I mean, obviously, we're not going to do that to families.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be a big one.
Right, yeah, sure. Okay, very good. Any other discussion?
I don't really have a discussion. I think that it's probably what we need to do. I feel like maybe I should give you guys the credit. I'm sure you've looked at other, more compassionate ways or different grants or things avenues that we could go to collect this. So, I mean, it wouldn't be my first thing to want to do, but I understand the need to do it. So,
And again, hopefully we aren't going to collections, but just as a tool in the tool belt.
I'm kind of where Richard Jordan is. Collection agencies have such a negative connotation to them. I hate to go down that road. On the other hand, we're into this for $40,000 now. That's one staff position.
Well, and we'll not just look at, that's lunch balances, registration balances, tech balances, anything like that. And so that, but again, we'll send those contacts. You have an outstanding balance, and then even if it says, hey, if you don't pay it and they go to collections, if they're willing to work with us and they need that assistance with filling out forms or whatever, we'll work with them. Sure. It's not trying to take any opportunity away from a student.
Did I just hear that 40,000 is just lunch?
Yes.
Their registration and tech balances too.
So could they do like a payment plan?
Any idea?
I'm sure we have. Haven't been here long enough to see one in action, but I mean, every district I've ever worked in has had payment plan options.
Any idea what our other negative balances are? No.
So could we see what that letter would look like that they would send? Or does that matter? Like, because I think that it would be nice, like you said, to have what their balance entailed. And then kind of what the options are for them, like if there is a payment plan.
What's our form letter that we do generally?
What I've always just done, first one, like I said, is just a blanket, hey, third of the way through your year, check your balances. The next one would be targeted to those students that have outstanding balances. I have to work with the buildings to get it all together. Please get this paid, typically give a couple weeks.
Is it mailed to them or is it sent through?
We'll send it, the first 2 through email. The one that says that if it's not paid within a certain amount of time, go to collection, will be mailed.
The first one's from us.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first, actually, all of those.
All of them are from us.
And then after that, once it's turned over to collections, that's when it would go.
When do we anticipate starting this process?
It's a couple weeks of just an onboarding process.
Yeah.
Just so that we can, but during that time, we can get just a reminder letter. Check your balances. If you've got an outstanding balance through Skyward, if you can get that paid, that's great and it would help us out.
I wonder if you could do like a read receipt on that.
I don't know what Skyward can do on a mass email or what Parent Square can do on a mass email, but I would work with Jessica specifically on the Parent Square. I've never dealt with that.
I'd be curious next month just to get some idea what kind of registration outstanding balances and tech outstanding balances we have just for fun.
How many, do we have an idea of how many students it is?
I can come up with the number before I leave tonight on the lunch balances, that other stuff, but no, yeah.
So you probably remember this, but in the past, I mean, we've had this issue before in the past. And sometimes it is a matter of getting those folks in to help them complete the paperwork, because sometimes it's not maybe free lunch that they need, but maybe there's that reduced portion where they fall in and they don't understand that they might fall in that. That's 130 to 185% of the poverty level. And some people just aren't aware of that. But I think you'll remember there were a large portion of folks in there who weren't anywhere close to meeting that criteria.
Right. They just didn't.
So I mean, there'll be a population of folks, yeah, that's absolutely something we need to address. And I think in the past, this district's been very helpful and very supportive with those families and helping get those needs met one way or the other. I don't know what that list looks like currently, but I know in the past, it has not probably been the list that maybe you would expect this.
And just off of initial run through, $11,395 in tech.
Just north to 50,000. Well, 40,000 buys a lot of food, right?
Yeah.
A lot of food. A lot of chicken patties.
Some butter. Some butter. Is that? Some butter? Some butter?
Oh, sun butter.
Yeah.
Can we get an update on the collection efforts in
Sure.
3 to 6 months, just to see where we stand? Okay, the superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the contract with Midstate Collection Solutions to provide past due balance collection services. As presented, do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Sarah.
Jordan,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
McComb,
Yes.
Rock,
Yes.
Severance,
Yes.
Bannister.
Yes.
All right, moving on to the review of hazardous conditions, Dr. Lee.
Yes, we need to, this is a yearly task. We need to approve the resolution designating our hazardous conditions. And there are no changes from last year to this year.
No changes from last year. Move to approve as presented.
Very good. Second? Justin, thank you. Well, I guess the superintendent recommends that we approve the resolution concerning review of hazardous conditions as presented. Max motion, Justin seconded. Any further discussion?
To review and to make sure I've got this straight, these are areas that are within the area that we normally wouldn't bus, but because of hazardous condition.
Yes.
We are busing.
Within the 1.5 miles.
We want that.
We want to be able to get reimbursed, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep, okay.
Sarah, roll call please.
Lamb,
Yes.
McComb,
Yes.
Rock,
Yes.
Severance,
Yes.
Bannister,
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Lee is going to tell us about the conference delegate assembly.
So the resolutions are in there. At this time, I don't believe we'll have anybody present to attend the delegate assembly. But if that should change and if you do at your leisure, while you're reading through all of those, if you have feedback, feel free to give it to me.
Something going on that weekend?
We gotta get back early for you,
Remember?
Deer hunting.
Yeah, that's what it was.
If you don't know what it is, I'm happy to give you a sticky note.
Always the same weekend every year.
Yeah. Check the schedule.
So not only do you have the school conference interrupting the start of hunting, you got this other event that's come up.
All right. I'm getting married that weekend.
You don't have friends.
Obviously, you are.
You're my only one. Friends, right?
No, it's, yeah.
Please tell his hair off.
Yeah.
Well, that must have been answered.
All right, closed session. A closed session is necessary tonight for the appointment, employment compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee and safety procedures. Is there a motion to approve and go into closed session?
So move.
And a second?
Second.
And a roll call vote, please.
McComb,
Yes.
Rock,
Yes.
Severance,
Yes.
Bannister,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Lamb.
All right, at the conclusion of the closed session, that's after the closed session, obviously, but we don't anticipate, that's what I'm supposed to say. We don't anticipate any business afterwards, so we will cut off the YouTube and commence our executive session.